everyone, welcome back. So today I wanted to do a video on the new Natasha Denona Safari eyeshadow palette. I was sent this and the gold palette from Natasha Denona. That is some of my most exciting PR, I do have to say. When I get Natasha Denona PR in the mail, I'm always like, I don't know, just it's so beautiful. I have tried every single Natasha Denona eyeshadow palette and I love them all. So I was really excited to try this because it is a full palette of matte eyeshadows. It's really gorgeous shades. I haven't tried them out, but you will see in the video we try them out for the first time. And I'll let you know what I think about the palette. So we created this green sort of smoky eye today. So hopefully you guys enjoy hearing a little bit about the palette as well as seeing an eyeshadow look with it. So if you guys have any more looks that you'd like to see with this palette, let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe, and let's go ahead and get into the video. So the press picture has a little bit more of an editorial look. I'm not quite sure I want this type of a look and structure, but I do like the colors that they use. It's like this camel color on the lid and then like a green sort of smoky eye with a really nice nude lip. So let me just say the facts about the palette. It's a 15 pan eyeshadow palette. Retails for $129. This is a limited edition palette. It is 15 brand new matte shades. Every shade in there is matte. This palette, I love the look of it. It is a matte palette with like a sort of vinyl lettering, shiny vinyl detail of the lettering that says all matte, like, and the letters are like kind of mixed up. And then this says Natasha Denona in light pink, and then Safari palette. So really beautiful. If you look on the back, there are holes. That is for if you would like to poke through these eyeshadows, you can move them around. And then it comes with a full-size mirror, which I always appreciate. Now, I have not swatched, tried, or hardly even seen any videos on this eyeshadow palette. I have so many Natasha Denona eyeshadow palettes. I'm pretty sure I have almost every single one. And I love almost all of them. I use them on a daily basis. I'm even using one for an upcoming wedding. The palettes are beautiful. The eyeshadows always perform really well for me. There's a mixture of mattes, metallics, shimmer overlays, duochrome, so many different formulas. And I'm really glad that there's an all matte palette because that's fun to have like an all matte, and also this can be used in conjunction with the other palettes. The shimmers from the other palettes pull in, you know, a full matte palette. So it looks like the two sort of like cream shades are a little bit darker than my skin tone, but they look like great all over lid shades. So I'm going to start by priming my lids and then adding one of those shadows all over the lid to set it. Okay, I went ahead and primed my lids with just a ColourPop concealer, and I'm going to use the shade Aya, or Aya, A-Y-A. This is a matte, although all matte, cream shade, and we're just going to use that to set and put that all over the lid. If you were super fair tone, you could use this as a crease color. That's nice. I always like to set my lids because I find that all shadows blend so much better once everything has been set. Since I'm wanting to go in with more of the greens, I am going to take this camel shade down here. This is called Tamarind, right down here. And I'm just going to start out with that same brush. This is a Sigma E25 blending brush, and putting that directly in the crease. Because I do want to do like just a matte green smoky eye. I love, and like a nude lip. I love the look of that promo picture with these camel colors and then the matte green shades kind of mixed in. So we'll see how that looks. This is so far blending really nicely. I love this shade. These types of like camel-y brown shades are my favorite. Natasha Denona does have like a camel palette. I love that palette. It just has like a ton of just different variations of a camel shade. And it's beautiful. It's just a 5-pan palette, but I've traveled with that and I like it a lot just because it's easy to get a really nice look. Alright, that worked as a great transition. Now I'm going to go into a little bit more of an orangey shade, but still lighter. This is the Desert Date, and directly in the center of the palette. And we're just going to kind of put that in the same place, but just throughout the crease, layer it. So the first shade is going to come up higher, and then this Desert Date, I'm going to keep it a little bit lower, but in the same, you know, vicinity. My husband and my father-in-law are currently in our garage. We are redoing our garage and like putting shelving systems and like kind of like a mudroom type thing. So they're building the mudroom, you know, with like the different compartments for kids to hang their backpack and like bins for shoes to be pulled out. So we've had several days of them building this. These are layering so beautifully on top of each other. I love this combination just on its own. It's like an everyday eye. With a little mascara, I would totally do this. But they have been building this like every single day, working on it. And I'm so excited for when it's done. I love having people in my life who can build me things. I'm pretty much like, I want this, let's make it happen, let's buy all the wood. I will end up showing it, I think, when it's done, because I've had a lot of people ask me. I did take before pictures of our garage. It was a hot disaster. Here in Texas, you don't have basements. So that, I grew up with basements, so it's really hard not to have a basement. It limits your places you can put things. Like we have an attic, but it's hard to get to, so we really have to have, like, we really used our garage to store things. It just stinks because it gets messy, you know, and we have 3 cars, so we want to at least put 2 cars inside the garage, and it just was so messy that we were only putting 1 car in the garage, and like the other half we were using to like just store stuff. So anyways, we're finally getting it under control, basically. I think I want to use this Savannah shade, which is almost like, I would call this like a camel green. And I'm thinking I should just, I don't have any foundation on, so if I get fallout, but I'm thinking I just kind of want to pack that all over the lid. There is fallout, but that is packing on pretty pigmented. If I have yet to have found a camel green color that is not, it just seems like that is a really difficult shade to master. So far I like that. We'll see how the edges of that blend out, but it seems like it's a really hard color to master. But anyway, yeah, so back to the garage. I have been like looking up different Pinterest and everything to try and find exactly what I wanted for my husband and my father-in-law to recreate, because they're handy. And so far they have mastered the shelving unit. We hung it from the ceiling, and I labeled all the boxes and everything, but I have been like dead set to make sure that we take the time and do this right and like get it completely done. But it will be, you can hear the saw in the background, but it will be completely a transformation for our garage, because we've just been living in utter chaos in that garage area for so long, and I'm just so ready for it to be done. Hard because our laundry room, it's a good size, but I just feel like the kids' backpacks these days, I'm just taking a little bit of that green on a blending brush, and I'm going to try and sort of work that in the crease to kind of marry those together. It's so hard. Kids' backpacks these days, I'm not even joking you, they literally weigh 1,000 pounds. So, and they're huge. So I have 3 kids' backpacks that just kind of take up so much space, and then kids' shoes and coats, and ugh, I can't. So this will hopefully be great. I can notice that this is lifting a little bit of the green when I'm blending. So I'm going to have to go back and touch that up. Like I said, green is such a tricky color to get a really nice matte green. Let me just kind of blend over that really quick. Yeah, that lifted a lot. So I'm going to go back in. I'm going to take this brush and I'm going to mix this Savannah shade with this darker green and Rhino and just see if I can kind of build that back up again. Okay, lots of fallout, but I was able to somewhat build that back up again. I'm going to take these 2 shades right here. This is the Masai and Voodoo shades, and I'm going to mix them. One is like a burgundy, and the other one is like kind of a deeper, sort of warm, chocolatey brown with a little hint of burgundy. And I'm just going to kind of put that. This has a lot more fallout. Yeah, it has a lot of fallout, and that we're gonna have to, I have like crinkly eyelids, so it's hard because I have problems with a lot of eyeshadows when I'm putting them on because my eyelid kind of crinkles. I'm gonna have to go in and use a blending brush, and we're gonna clean that up. Okay, I'm just going to take a clean blending brush and I'm going to buff. I have to go back in with that green and put that back on again because it does buff away. Okay, I have a lot of experience with the Natasha Denona eyeshadows. I feel like the formula in these are a little bit drier than what some of the other eyeshadow palettes have been. Now I know it's the same formula for matte shades, but something about this just is different. And I don't know if it's the colors that kind of change it a little bit, because I do know the greens are extremely hard to make. But mainly I had trouble with the greens, so on the lid they would kind of blend away. But I finally layered it, so I'm going to go in, I'm going to apply eyeliner, like liquid liner to the top, pop on some lashes, and then we will come back and finish up the rest of the eyes. Okay, I decided to film this part because I decided not to use liquid liner. I just took a little bit of black eyeliner and smudged it on the upper lash line, and then I'm going over it with this Army Green shade in Savannah, and I'm just kind of pushing that into the lash line just so it's like a little bit of a deeper green, and then I'm going to go into the Rhino shade and sort of touch over that, and then I'm going to apply some mascara and maybe some lashes, and we will be right back after that. All right, we are back. I have lashes on. I use these Ardell chocolate lashes. These, it doesn't say if they're Demi Wispies or anything. It doesn't say the style on them, but they look like just plain Demi Wispies, but in like a chocolatey brown. And I'm going to use this Demolition eyeliner from Urban Decay. The shade's Demolition. It's the 24/7 Glide On eye pencils. I'm just going to use that in the waterline. I wish I had like a really cool Army Green shade. And then I'm going to take this Savannah shade, so that is the Army Green, and I'm going to smoke out my lash line with that. So I'm going to just press it in to the lower lash line. And then there's this really cool sort of green, almost like, it's called Stone. It's like almost like a green gray. I thought maybe we could use that to smoke out a little bit more. This color called Stone. My husband's outside, so I'm just gonna call him real quick.
Hello.
Is your dad looking for me?
Did you need it? When you get done with whatever you're doing, come over here.
Well, how long, like, when do you need me?
Just whenever you come over here.
Okay.
Take your time.
Okay,
Okay. Bye.
They're outside doing that project like I told you, so I heard them calling for me. Alright, so I'm just going to put that Stone color. I really like that. It's almost like this slow fade into like a smoky green, which I think is really cool. I like that color a lot, and that one seems to be blending really, really nicely to smoke out. My under eyes are so dry today. I don't know why it's not. I don't think it's any of the products I used. But wow, I set my under eyes actually with this Too Faced Peach Perfect, and I haven't used that in a while, but honestly I don't think I like that for under my eyes. It's really accentuating the lines under my eyes. I'm going to go in with a little bit of lower lash mascara. This is the MAC Giga Black Lash. So this is an all matte look, so I'm thinking maybe I'll go in with this lighter pink shade. This is Malia in the corner over here. I didn't use this one to set, but I'm like, maybe we'll just stick with that. It seems like it's brightening up enough of a shade. Usually I go in with a shimmer, but since this is an all matte palette, I kind of wanted to stick with an all matte look. And maybe I'll just touch up the brow bone with this shade. Okay, for my lips, I'm going to go in, this is the Buff Nude shade, the IT Cosmetics Your Lips But Better. And then we're going to go in with a really, really nude shade for the lips. Okay, I think this shade in Doll Face is pretty nude. This is the Too Faced Peach lipstick. This looks like a pretty nude shade. Since that color is matte, I do want to put like a touch of a gloss on top. I'm just going to go in with this Dior Lip Maximizer. It's really just like almost like a clear pinkish. Okay, so that is the finished look on my face. I just have a combination, just in case you're wondering. I'm wearing the Light Illusion foundation from Flower Beauty. My concealer is Flower Beauty Light Illusion. Usually this is super hydrating concealer. I know how it works under my eyes. So I think the reason my under eyes are dry is because that peach powder, that's different. I haven't used that under my eyes in ages. And then my blush is Laura Geller. It's one from the Hollywood blushing palette. It is the Bora Bora shade mixed with Pink Grapefruit, which is one of my all-time favorite blushes. And then my highlight is actually from Collab Beauty. It's such a pretty highlight. This is the shade Glow for the Gold. Okay, now let's get into this palette. Now, like I said, I have tried so many Natasha Denona palettes, so I kind of know the way that they work. I would say overall, every single shade I tried, I really, really liked. The only shade that gave me a little bit of an issue was this shade in Savannah. Now, I do like the way that the full look came out, and once I kind of piled it on my lid and stopped blending it out, it is staying there. A fun fact is I actually filmed the first half of this video before I put on foundation and went and ate lunch with my family. Waited 2 hours, came back. So this eyeshadow has already been on my eyes 2 hours for me to even be able to tell right now. I didn't have to do any touch-ups, and the green is still staying put. So once you get it there, it's fine, but it was a little bit patchy when I was applying it and then blending it out. It picked up the product blending out, blending another shade in. However, once I kind of got it all on, touched up the green, it's fine, it's staying on, and it's not like going anywhere, but it was a little bit more to work with than the other shades. Everything else blended beautifully. I would like to do another look like with these pink shades down here, like this shade in Lotus looks beautiful. I love these shades right here, so pretty. So anyways, definitely love this palette. However, that I was having a few blending issues with the green, so I just want to say that. But hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing a look, and I know a lot of people were curious. This is a very, very expensive palette, so what I will say is if you love matte shades, then I think you will really like this. If you're buying it purely for the green shade, again, that's the one that gave me issues, but in the long run, I like the look. So I personally would grab for this palette again and use that shade, knowing for the fact that I would have to work a little bit harder with it. I'm willing to do that because the shade is so beautiful. I love the color selection in here. There are a lot of really pretty colors, some of the jewel tone colors, some brighter colors. It's just different than what I've seen, and so I really, really like that. I'm very much drawn to this palette from the looks of it. So I'll definitely get a lot of use on this palette. I like the way it looks. I like the big mirror. The Natasha Denona eyeshadows are such quality. Now I do have the gold palette from the holiday collection and some of the over-the-top chrome eyeshadow pots things. I forgot the exact name of them. I will do a full video on that collection as well, because that was a palette that I was really, really excited about. I love gold shades, so I can't wait to try that one out. This kind of was a first impression because I hadn't used this, but I'm really impressed with the way that the look came out. I like it. It's nice and smoky and green and pretty. So hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing a look with this palette. Let me know if you guys have tried it out, if you have any thoughts, if you've been wanting to pick it up. I know I'm going to get questions on my nails because I always do, so even for my own self, Laura, while you're editing this video, this is KL Polish Sagittarius. I love this shade. It's like a dark plum, so it's a really, really pretty shade. And I just put on, these are like press-on nails. I glue them on, Kiss nails. I glue them on using like the Kiss glue. They're the square cut short, and then I file them down pretty short because I'm just a shorter nail type of a person. And then I paint them and put a top coat on just like a regular nail polish, and these will stay on for like a week. So, and even if one pops off, you can re-glue it back on. That's the way I've been liking to do it because my nails are just, I bit them all off like a month ago and I just haven't been able to recover. I haven't been able to fully grow them, so I have to wear nails like this for a while until I can get a little bit of some headway. It's just a side note. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Mwah.